That sharp gripping cramp in your leg or foot that makes you gasp and clutch at your calf? It's the kind of pain that stops you in your tracks, isn't it? 1 minute, you're comfortable and relaxed. The next, you're frozen, holding your leg, hoping it passes quickly. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. In fact, leg cramps are one of the most common and frustrating issues faced by folks over 60. And yet most of us chalk it up to just getting older, don't we? Oh, it's just my age catching up to me, we tell ourselves. But here's the thing, it's not just age. Many times these cramps have nothing to do with getting older, and everything to do with what's on your plate. Yes, really. What if I told you that simple everyday foods, the ones you can find at your local grocery store, not in some fancy health shop, could help you prevent these painful cramps, strengthen your muscles, and even help you feel steadier on your feet? I've seen it time and time again. Friends, neighbors, even my own family members who once dreaded those nighttime cramps, finally finding relief just by making a few simple changes to what they eat. And the best part? These aren't strange, hard-to-find superfoods. They're familiar, they're natural, and they could make all the difference. In today's video here on Wise Years, I'll show you 6 powerful foods that could help you prevent leg cramps, support stronger muscles, and help you move with more confidence every single day. Before we jump in, take just a second and click subscribe. This way you won't miss out on more simple, helpful ways to stay healthy, independent, and happy. The way you deserve to be. I still remember the first time I realized how common this struggle really is. It was a few years ago when my dear neighbor Mary, who's now 74, invited me over for coffee. As we sat on her porch, watching the birds and enjoying the morning breeze, she rubbed her leg and said, "I just don't know what's going on with these darn cramps lately. They wake me up every other night." She smiled, trying to brush it off, but I could see the worry behind her eyes. Have you ever felt that too? That little bit of fear, wondering if the next cramp will hit while you're walking, cooking, or simply trying to get a good night's sleep? Mary thought it was just part of aging, like many of us do. She believed leg cramps were unavoidable, something you simply had to endure. But the truth is, you don't have to suffer silently. These cramps, the pain, the sleepless nights, and even that hesitation when standing up from a chair, they often have a cause we can address. That's why I wanted to make this video for you today. I've spent years learning about simple, natural ways to stay healthy and independent after 60. For my own family, for friends like Mary, and now for you. And time after time, I've seen how making small changes, especially with the foods we eat, can bring real relief. Not just less pain, but more strength, more confidence, and more freedom to enjoy the things you love. Imagine waking up feeling rested, walking through the grocery store without worrying about your legs cramping or giving out, or simply feeling more sure-footed when you step outside to tend to your garden or play with your grandkids. That's what this is about, not just avoiding cramps, but holding on to the independence, joy, and peace of mind you deserve. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now, it's your turn to take care of you. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and let's go through the 6 foods that could make a world of difference for you. And remember, you're not alone. If leg cramps have been bothering you, go ahead and share it in the comments. I'd love to know how you've been feeling, and you just might help someone else watching today feel less alone too. So what's really going on? Why do leg cramps seem to show up more often as we get older? Here's the honest truth. It's not just because of age. It's because our bodies change in ways that most people don't talk about. And understanding these changes can give you the power to do something about it. As we pass 60, our muscles don't work quite the same way they used to. They're still strong, still capable, but they need a little more attention. Muscles rely on minerals like potassium, magnesium, and calcium to work properly, to contract, relax, and carry us through the day. But as we get older, we naturally start absorbing less of these minerals from food. On top of that, some of us might not be drinking enough water. You've probably heard it before, but I'll say it again. Hydration matters, especially for muscles. Without enough fluids, muscles become more sensitive and more likely to cramp. And then there's something no one really tells you. Certain medications, which many of us take for blood pressure, cholesterol, or even heart health, can actually make leg cramps worse. They can lower potassium or magnesium levels without us even realizing it. The result, you're left wondering why out of nowhere your legs feel tight, sore, or like they've betrayed you in the middle of the night. Does that sound familiar to you? Maybe you've had nights when you're suddenly wide awake, rubbing your calf, pacing the living room just to ease the pain. Or perhaps you've noticed your legs feeling stiff after sitting for a while, like you have to convince them to start working again. I want you to know, this is common. It happens to so many people. But here's the good news. You don't have to accept it as your new normal. I've seen it over and over again. Friends who were convinced that they just have to live with the pain found relief simply by giving their muscles what they were really asking for. The right minerals, enough hydration, and a few nourishing foods. This isn't about overhauling your entire diet or making life complicated. I'm not going to tell you to eat things you've never heard of or spend hours preparing meals. In fact, some of these foods might already be in your kitchen right now. The key is knowing which ones to lean on, the foods that gently restore what your muscles have been quietly begging for. And that's exactly what we're about to talk about. In just a moment, I'm going to share 6 simple, delicious foods that can help you reduce leg cramps, strengthen your muscles, and bring back some of the freedom you deserve. So stay with me. I think you'll be surprised by how easy and tasty this can be. Let's start with a classic, bananas. Now I know, you've probably heard that bananas are good for leg cramps, and you might be thinking, oh, I've tried bananas, but I still get cramps. But here's the thing. Most people don't realize just how important potassium really is, especially as we age. Potassium is what I like to call a muscle whisperer. It helps your muscles relax after they contract. Every single step you take, every time you stand up from a chair, or even reach down to tie your shoes, your muscles need potassium to do it smoothly and without cramping up. But here's the catch. As we get older, our bodies don't hold on to potassium as well. Some medications can also lower your potassium levels without you even knowing it. Blood pressure pills, water pills, and even some heart medications can make you lose more potassium through your urine. That's why a simple food like the humble banana becomes so powerful. One medium banana gives you around 400 milligrams of potassium. And more than just numbers, it gives your muscles a little sigh of relief. It's like giving them the fuel they've been quietly begging for. I remember Mary. You've heard me mention her earlier. She started adding just 1 banana a day, usually sliced over her morning oatmeal or blended into a smoothie. After a few weeks, she told me, "It's the first time I slept through the night without waking up to rub my leg." Now, is the banana alone a miracle cure? Number. But it's a simple, gentle way to start giving your body the minerals it needs to feel stronger and steadier. And don't worry if you're not a fan of eating them plain. Bananas are incredibly versatile. You can blend them into a smoothie with a handful of spinach and some yogurt, slice them over your favorite cereal, or even mash them into whole grain pancakes. They're soft, easy to chew, and naturally sweet. Perfect for seniors who may have sensitive teeth or trouble swallowing. So let me ask you, when's the last time you had a banana? Is it part of your daily routine, or has it been sitting on the kitchen counter waiting for you? If you've got a little story about how bananas have helped you, or even a favorite recipe, share it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And I know others in the Wise Years family would too. Now, let's talk about one of my personal favorites, sweet potatoes. They're warm, comforting, and for many of us, they bring back memories of family dinners and holiday tables. But sweet potatoes aren't just delicious. They're a secret weapon when it comes to preventing leg cramps. Sweet potatoes are packed with 2 of the most important minerals for muscle health, magnesium and potassium. These 2 work hand in hand to help your muscles contract and relax the way they're supposed to. If potassium is the muscle whisperer, magnesium is like the gentle coach on the sidelines, keeping everything in balance. When magnesium levels are too low, and sadly many people over 60 don't get enough, muscles can misfire, leading to those awful cramps, twitches, and restless legs. Pair that with low potassium, and it's no wonder so many folks wake up in the middle of the night clutching their calves. What I love about sweet potatoes is that they give you both magnesium and potassium, all in one naturally sweet and satisfying package. And they're easy to prepare in ways that work for everyone, even if you have sensitive teeth or difficulty chewing. Baked, mashed, roasted, or blended into soups, sweet potatoes can be as simple or as fancy as you like. I once showed my friend Harold, who's 68, how to make mashed sweet potatoes with just a little cinnamon and butter. He said it became his go-to evening side dish, and after just a few weeks, he noticed fewer nighttime cramps. And let's be honest, sweet potatoes are comforting. They make you feel warm and satisfied. They're soft enough for anyone to enjoy and versatile enough to sneak into many dishes without feeling like you're on some strict health kick. The best part, they're naturally high in fiber too, which helps with digestion, something we all appreciate a little more as the years go by. So next time you're at the grocery store, don't just pass by the pile of sweet potatoes. Pick up a few and give them a try. Your muscles might just thank you. And I'd love to know, do you already cook with sweet potatoes? Do you have a special family recipe? Go ahead and share it in the comments below. I always enjoy hearing your stories and kitchen traditions. Stick with me, because up next is a food that not only helps with leg cramps, but can also give your heart a little extra love too. Now let's talk about a food that's become quite the star in recent years, the avocado. I know some of you might be thinking, avocados? Aren't those just for young folks making fancy toast? But trust me, avocados have much more to offer, especially when it comes to keeping your legs strong and cramp-free. Avocados are rich in potassium, just like bananas, but they also bring something extra to the table, healthy fats. These healthy fats help keep your joints cushioned, your heart healthy, and your muscles nourished. For seniors, that combination is gold. Think about it. As we age, our bodies naturally lose some of the padding and fluid around our joints. Movements that used to feel smooth can sometimes feel stiff or achy, but the healthy fats found in avocados help keep everything moving more comfortably, while the potassium helps prevent those sharp, painful leg cramps that seem to show up uninvited. I remember Ed, a kind gentleman from our community group who was hesitant at first. He told me, "I've never eaten an avocado in my life." But after he tried it diced up with a little olive oil, lemon, and a pinch of salt, he was hooked. He started adding avocado to his breakfast a few times a week, sometimes on toast, sometimes mixed into a salad. And after a few weeks, he told me he felt steadier, with fewer of those middle-of-the-night surprises in his legs. The beauty of avocados is how gentle they are on the body. They're soft, easy to chew, and versatile. You don't need to be a fancy cook to enjoy them. You can slice them on a sandwich, mash them into guacamole, or even blend them into a smoothie. And if you're someone who worries about cholesterol, don't. These are heart-healthy fats that can actually help lower bad cholesterol and support cardiovascular health. So let me ask you, have you tried adding avocados to your meals? Or maybe you're like Ed, and you're thinking about giving them a chance. If you have a favorite way to enjoy them, I'd love for you to share it in the comments below. Your tip might help someone else who's watching today. In just a moment, I'll show you a food that could quietly be helping your muscles every time you take a bite. And I'll bet it's one you've loved since childhood. Now, who doesn't love a sweet, juicy slice of watermelon? For many of us, it brings back memories of summer picnics, family gatherings, and warm afternoons spent outdoors. But watermelon is more than just a refreshing treat. It could be your secret weapon against leg cramps. You see, one of the biggest causes of leg cramps, especially as we get older, is something simple but often overlooked: dehydration. Our bodies naturally hold less water as we age. It's just part of the process. And to make matters trickier, many seniors don't feel thirsty the way they used to. Even if you don't feel parched, your muscles could still be craving hydration. When your muscles don't get enough fluids, they become more prone to cramping, stiffness, and fatigue. It's like trying to water a garden with a dry hose. Nothing flows smoothly. That's where watermelon comes in. Watermelon is about 92% water, making it one of the most hydrating foods you can eat. But it's not just water. Watermelon also gives you a little boost of potassium and magnesium, both of which are key players in preventing leg cramps. And the best part? It's so easy to enjoy. You don't need to cook it, prepare a fancy recipe, or even have a full set of teeth to appreciate it. Watermelon is soft, juicy, and naturally sweet, perfect for those hot days when you just need something light and refreshing. I remember my Uncle John, who's now 80, telling me, "Watermelon saved me during the summer. I didn't realize I was getting dehydrated until my legs started cramping every evening." He started having a small bowl of watermelon after his afternoon walk, and within days, those evening cramps became less and less frequent. So if you find yourself feeling stiff or crampy more often in the warmer months, or even year-round, adding watermelon could be a simple, delicious fix. And here's a little tip. Sprinkle a tiny pinch of salt on your watermelon. It brings out the sweetness and helps your body hold on to the fluids even better. It's an old trick from my grandmother, and to this day, I still do it. Tell me, when was the last time you enjoyed a slice of watermelon? Do you have a special way of serving it? Go ahead and share in the comments. Your favorite way might just inspire someone else watching. And stay with me because next, we're going to talk about something leafy, green, and full of strength for your legs. Alright, now let's talk about something you've probably seen on your plate many times. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, collard greens. They've been part of the American table for generations. Maybe you grew up eating them cooked down with a little butter or tossed into a warm soup. But did you know these simple greens might be exactly what your muscles and bones are asking for? Leafy greens are full of magnesium and calcium, two minerals your body needs more than ever after 60. Magnesium helps relax your muscles, preventing those painful cramps and twitches that can sneak up when you least expect them. Calcium, on the other hand, is vital for keeping your bones strong and steady. You see, many people think of calcium only in terms of bones, but without enough calcium, your muscles also start to suffer. They can feel weak, tight, or just not as responsive as they used to be. And as we age, our bodies don't absorb calcium as easily, especially if we're not getting enough through our meals. That's why these greens are such a gift. They're like a gentle nudge to your muscles and bones, saying, "You've got this." I remember Mrs. Eleanor from our local walking group. She was about 67 when she told me, "I used to avoid greens. I thought they were bitter and boring. But after trying a simple sautéed spinach recipe, just spinach, a little garlic, and olive oil, she became a believer. Within a few weeks, she felt stronger during her walks and noticed fewer nighttime cramps. She even joked that she was feeling like she got her pep back. And here's the good news. You don't have to force yourself to eat a big bowl of raw kale. Cooked greens are just as powerful and often easier to digest and chew. A little wilted spinach in your eggs, Swiss chard in your soup, or even adding greens to a smoothie can give you the minerals your muscles are quietly asking for. If you haven't been eating leafy greens regularly, don't worry. It's never too late to start. Even a few servings a week can begin to make a difference. So, let me ask you, do you have a favorite way to cook greens? Maybe a family recipe passed down from your parents or grandparents? I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Those old recipes are treasures worth sharing. Coming up next, we'll talk about a food that's small but mighty and could be the snack your legs have been waiting for. Now, let's talk about one of nature's most powerful and often overlooked helpers: nuts and seeds. Almonds, walnuts, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds. These little foods may not look like much, but don't let their size fool you. They're packed full of magnesium, healthy fats, and other nutrients your muscles and nerves need to stay strong, steady, and cramp-free. What makes them so special is how well they support your muscles and your heart at the same time. Magnesium, again, is the star here. It helps relax tight muscles, calms nerves, and keeps your body running smoothly. Healthy fats from nuts and seeds also nourish your joints and improve circulation, something we all appreciate as the years go by. And here's the best part. Nuts and seeds are easy to work into your day. You don't need to turn them into a fancy dish. A small handful as a snack, sprinkled over oatmeal, mixed into yogurt, or blended into a smoothie can make a noticeable difference. I remember Walter, a dear friend of mine, who used to complain about leg cramps after his afternoon walks. He thought it was just part of getting older, until he started keeping a small jar of almonds and pumpkin seeds by his favorite chair. A handful here and there, and within a couple of weeks, he told me, "I didn't realize how much I needed this until the cramps started easing up." Of course, you might be wondering, what if you have trouble chewing? You're not alone. Many seniors do. The good news is you can soak nuts overnight to make them softer, or choose natural nut butters like almond or peanut butter, which still give you those same muscle-friendly nutrients without the crunch. And if you're someone who enjoys baking, you can add ground flaxseed or chopped walnuts to muffins, breads, or pancakes, making it easy and enjoyable to get these healthy minerals without even thinking about it. So let me ask you, do you already snack on nuts or seeds? Maybe you've got a favorite trail mix recipe or a childhood memory of cracking walnuts during the holidays. I'd love for you to share it down in the comments. These small foods can make a big difference. And when combined with everything we've talked about so far, you're well on your way to giving your muscles the support they've been quietly asking for. But we're not quite done yet. Next, I'll give you a few bonus tips that can make these foods work even better for you, helping you stay cramp-free, steady, and confident. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share a few simple but powerful bonus tips that, when combined with these 6 foods, can make a world of difference. First and foremost, hydration. I know you've heard it before, but please don't brush it off. Staying hydrated isn't just about quenching your thirst. It's about keeping your muscles healthy. As we age, we tend to lose that natural sense of thirst. You might not feel thirsty, but your muscles might still be crying out for water. Even mild dehydration can trigger cramps, stiffness, and fatigue. A simple habit? Keep a water bottle nearby during the day. Take small sips regularly, even if you're not feeling thirsty. Herbal teas, broths, or water-rich fruits like watermelon and cucumber also count. You don't have to gulp down glasses all at once. Just steady, gentle hydration throughout the day is key. Another tip: gentle stretching. Before bed, take a few minutes to stretch your legs, especially your calves and hamstrings. Just a simple stretch against the wall or sitting down and reaching toward your toes can help. Many seniors find that bedtime stretches reduce nighttime leg cramps dramatically. If you've got trouble with balance, don't worry. You can do these stretches while seated. The important part is to keep those muscles loose and ready to rest. I also recommend something that my grandmother swore by: a warm foot soak. Adding Epsom salt, which contains magnesium, can relax your muscles, soothe your feet, and calm your nerves. It's one of those small comforts that does wonders for your body and your spirit. And here's something not often mentioned: be mindful of salt and caffeine. Too much salt can make dehydration worse, and caffeine, especially in the afternoon or evening, may lead to poor sleep, which only makes cramping feel more noticeable. You don't have to give them up, but just keeping an eye on how much you're having can help. Finally, I want you to remember, you don't have to overhaul your life overnight. Small, steady changes are all it takes. One new habit at a time. One more glass of water. One more serving of greens. One simple stretch before bed. These are gentle, doable steps, but together, they can give you stronger muscles, fewer cramps, and more confidence to move through your day with ease. Stick with me, because in just a moment, I'll share something even more important: how you can turn these small changes into lasting habits, and how to make sure you're never facing this challenge alone. So, my friend, let's take a deep breath together. We've covered a lot today, more than just a list of foods. We've talked about how leg cramps, those sharp, frustrating, sometimes even scary pains, don't have to be something you simply live with. You've now learned about 6 simple natural foods: bananas, sweet potatoes, avocados, watermelon, leafy greens, and nuts and seeds that are full of the minerals and hydration your muscles have been quietly asking for. These aren't magic potions, and they don't require you to change your entire way of living. They're ordinary foods with extraordinary benefits. Foods you may have already known, but maybe never realized how powerful they could be. And you know what? It's not just about preventing cramps. It's about giving yourself the chance to feel strong again, to walk without fear of suddenly freezing up, to enjoy your daily walks, your time in the garden, your moments dancing in the kitchen, or just moving freely without worrying that a cramp is lurking around the corner. So many people in your shoes, people just like you, have already started finding relief with these small changes. I've seen it firsthand. I think about Mary, who we talked about earlier, sitting on her porch rubbing her legs. After she began to make just a few changes, adding bananas and sweet potatoes to her meals, staying hydrated, and doing a little stretch before bedtime, she told me, "I forgot how good it felt to wake up without a cramp." That simple sentence said it all. Or Walter, who never thought much about nuts until he realized they could help him walk a little easier, and now keeps a jar of almonds on his kitchen counter. And then there's Ed, who had never even tasted an avocado until a few months ago, and now swears by his morning avocado toast. You see, you're not alone in this. The truth is, many people have been right where you are, waking up at night with cramps, hesitating before taking that first step in the morning, feeling unsure about how to fix it. And many have found that it isn't about finding some miracle cure. It's about making small, kind adjustments to how we care for our bodies. I want you to know, you deserve to feel strong. You deserve to move confidently. And you deserve to enjoy this season of life fully. You've spent decades taking care of others, children, grandchildren, neighbors, friends. You've worked hard, you've given so much, and now is the time to take care of you. And the beautiful thing is, it doesn't have to be overwhelming. It's one step at a time. One new food here, a little more water there, a simple stretch before bed, a few nuts added to your snack, or an extra serving of leafy greens at dinner. The most important thing? Don't give up on yourself. Your body may be asking for help in the only way it knows how. Through those cramps, those aches, that unsteadiness. And now, you have tools to answer that call. I also want to remind you, you don't have to go through this alone. Right here on Wise Years, we are a community. You are surrounded by others who care, who understand, and who might even have a few helpful stories of their own to share. So, I want to invite you to do something special right now. Take a moment and leave me a comment below. Tell me, have you ever struggled with leg cramps? What's helped you? Or, which of these foods are you excited to try? Maybe you even have a family recipe that you'd be willing to share. A way you cook sweet potatoes, or a memory of cracking walnuts during the holidays. I read every single comment, and you never know. The advice you share could be exactly what another person watching this video needs to hear. And if you found today's video helpful, would you give it a thumbs up? It helps me reach more people who might be dealing with this exact problem and don't know where to turn. And if you haven't yet, I invite you to subscribe to Wise Years and click the bell so you won't miss any of the simple, practical tips I share every week to help you live stronger, healthier, and most importantly, happier. You've earned the right to feel good. You've earned the right to walk without fear. You've earned the right to enjoy these years with confidence and joy. So let's keep walking this journey together. Let's keep making small, kind choices for ourselves every single day. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. Take good care of yourself, and I'll see you again very soon.